Hello and welcome back to episode 7 of SCP Secret Files. I'm Vic and you're watching yet another Let's Play channel. And it's time to check in with our friends. Where are they being contained now? The correct answer is you don't have need to know. How do you know all this? Thought you didn't attend. Oh, he got to poke the box. I've been here for a month now, and I am now entirely adjusted to the job. Though the content of my work is to simply process archive files, it is work that will never bore me. A few absurd jokes aside, most of the archives are really rather fascinating. I have been having hallucinations lately. I feel like someone is calling me, a voice low and uncertain. They seem to be trying to communicate with me, but I cannot understand a single word they say. In fact, I had planned on seeing a doctor, but Zoe told me it was the typical rookie syndrome and would clear up in a few days. Yeah, very responsible for the folks at the Contain and Protect and Secure Foundation would just ignore apparent contact by an entity. Yeah, good plan. Good plan. They wouldn't have any kind of protocol for assessing that sort of thing. Just brush it off. More files. Yorkshire, England, Site 83. SCP-300 is stored in a locked and climate-controlled container at Site Redacted. Experimentation on SCP-300 may only be performed with prior written permission from at least one Level 3 senior researcher. And any observations made must be recorded for later analysis. So that's not actually redacted, is it? That's just that right there. Or not. Okay. SCP-300 consists of an antique glass perfume bottle, SCP-300-1, containing approximately 2.4 cubic centimeters of an unidentified colorless liquid, SCP-300-2. So previously, the thing that got assigned the primary number was itself an entity. But in this case, it doesn't appear that there is actually a thing that you would call SCP-300. That kind of inconsistency probably wouldn't occur. When a single drop of SCP-300-2 is extracted from 300-1 and the drop is viewed through a standard optical microscope, an animated scene becomes visible. While no two drops have shown precisely the same scene, these scenes generally take the form of pastoral or woodland scenes consistent with that of, is it Victorian-era England? I'm starting to understand how these files work, yeah. So far, attempts to analyze the exact chemical components of 300-2 have inexplicably failed, with spectrometers reporting wildly variant or false data, thus making attempts at replicating it impossible. 300-2 also invariably evaporates within 2 to 8 hours of being drawn outside of 300-1, despite all attempts at stabilizing the substance or controlling laboratory conditions. 300 was first documented along with Redacted after being recovered from the attic of a row home in Redacted, UK on Redacted 1863, following a raid by agents of the Royal Society for the Security, Containment, and Protection of Anomalous Artifacts. SCP-300 was transferred to SCP Foundation possession on Redacted 19 Redacted. Submit. Another one. SCP-90. Object class unmarked. Artifact is to be held in a secure bunker in the facility at Site Redacted and constantly monitored by approved Class D personnel. The object's new arrangement is to be imaged every time it shifts. New arrangements are fed into the facility's Class OT supercomputer. Division Chief is to be notified of all changes and current estimates every half hour. No personnel is to touch SCP-90 except under order Redacted. AXA security level has been created for monitoring SCP-90. Non-AXA personnel found in the facility will be terminated. 90 was located and retrieved in Redacted, April 10th, 19 Redacted. Prior to retrieval, SCP-90 had been located in a chamber at the nearby cathedral. 90 was then removed, the cathedral burned, and the 6 months in the priest terminated. 90 has been located at Site Redacted since the retrieval. Object's initial location prior to the cathedral is unrecorded. SCP-90 is a black cubic structure 20 by 20 by 20 centimeters made of an unknown ceramic material. Object is classified as indestructible following tests outlined in Document 90-B unattached. Each side is divided into 10,000 individual squares in arrangements similar to a Rubik's Cube. 100 segments per edge, each segment 2 millimeters wide. Each square has part of a design etched into the surface. Etchings glow white. An unknown internal structure causes the realignment of a single row or column every 2.8 seconds. Vague recordings of the object's alignments have been kept since 1242 Common Era, but those before 1533 Common Era have been lost. Modern technology has allowed the exact alignments to be imaged and recorded as well as studied. Segments are divided by a thin white line unless they are aligned correctly within the square directly adjacent to them, with the square directly adjacent. There are 22 correct alignments on the object's surface currently. See 25.90.90.04D for complete current object alignment. Is currently the only alignment of 3 adjacent segments on the surface of SCP-90. Other alignments are the 4-segment alignments. There's also a 6-segment alignment. See Document 90-B for research notes involving alignment effects. Addendum. AXA security level personnel should see Document 90-B, 90-A, Dr. Redacted. Experiment notes. Experiment 12. Observation is going well. We have managed to develop a system to record and analyze the shifts in the cube almost as quickly as they occur. No correlation between shifts and any world events found yet. Experiment 48. We observed a 6-segment alignment today on the first side. It was noted and passed without incident. 2 hours later, a research assistant returned from the break room with news that a tsunami had occurred in the Indian Ocean and caused hundreds of thousands of deaths and extensive property damage. No correlation is currently known, but we will make note of it. Experiment 150, after our 120th alignment on the 4th side of the cube, and 120th accident report in the lab, we are designating the 4th side as local and will implement safety measures tomorrow. Staff are discouraged from making bets regarding the outcome of alignments. That would bias the test. Experiment 172, a 6-segment alignment was recorded this morning on the local side. As a safety precaution, Site Redacted was evacuated. 2 hours later, a containment breach occurred but resulted in no loss of life due to the evacuation. Object determined to predict events, not cause them. First side designated as global. Upgrade to Euclid status requested. Experiment 240. We stepped up our experiments today by attempting to modify the cube itself. When D-Class personnel attempted to make a shift, SCP-90 immediately created a 10-segment alignment of its own accord near the top left corner of the local side. Exactly 2 hours later, SCP broke containment and data expunged. Agents redacted and redacted were also lost during the incident. Recommended forced shift testing of SCP-90 postponed. Upgrade to Keter status approved, as SCP-90 is obviously capable of causing events of its own accord. Object may be sentient. And do we have more? We have more. Keter. Did that add anything? I don't think so. Experiment conclusion. Full item completion has been hypothesized to cause an unparalleled disaster to occur. The combination of different alignment patterns on its body can cause disastrous effects of differing scales. It is presumed that full completion will result in catastrophe. SCP-90 appears to possess the ability to actively change alignment patterns at will in order to cause destruction. Well, I don't know that any of that is justified based on these notes. Neither that it causes events, or that it predicts events, or that it reacts. Inadequate data, in my opinion. Submit. Okay, SCP-898. Information pertaining to the creation and application of SCP-898 is restricted to Foundation personnel with Level 3 clearance or higher. I mean, these Level 3 clearance folks just have access to, like, everything, and they can release it to whomever they want, as near as I can tell. Experimentation may only be conducted with the approval of the majority of the Overseal Council. Okay. Well, this one seems to be a little more serious, then. SCP-898 is a mimetic disorder specifically created by Foundation researchers for the purpose of serving as a defense mechanism against understanding mimetics, against other mimetic or mind-affecting attacks. Its development was undertaken as part of Operation Azure Skies in 1992. The objective of Azure Skies was to design and employ a variety of devices to protect Foundation personnel in the field from supernatural threats that conventional technologies were not sufficient to guard against. 898 specifically was created over the course of 3 years of study and experimentation, taking information from analyses of already known mimetic SCPs to drive a Gestalt research and development program. The SCP-898 project was overseen by Dr. Grienko during its run until its official cancellation on December 22, 1995. The conclusion that Dr. Grienko and his subordinates reached was that since any mimetic compulsion by definition involves the inspiration of an idea in the target's mind, the most obvious defense mechanism was another type of inspiration, preferably one that would create a more powerful compulsion and override the first meme. To that end, Grienko proposed that a simple biologically motivated catalyst might be the solution. According to the theory he developed, when a subject's mind had already been infected by SCP-898, detected a potential mimetic invasion, 898 would automatically stimulate the subject's sympathetic ganglion to flood the subject's system with adrenaline and provoke a fight-or-flight response. The subject would then dismiss the invading meme in the process of either initiating an attack or in fleeing from the meme's effective range. The method for detecting invading memes revolved around tracking sudden changes in the subject's limbic system. A common trend Grienko and his team had observed among mimetic viruses known to the Foundation was that nearly all of them stimulated an unusually high amount of activity in the orbitofrontal cortex. And so 898 was designed to activate in response to this stimulation, or if the subject became consciously aware of a mimetic attack, which would frequently start off orbitofrontal cortex activity as well. In order to assure that SCP-898 would provide adequate protection against all types of memes, Krienko opted to form the core of his counter-meme around all 5 senses. SCP-898, at its completion, would include auditory, visual, olfactory, tactile, and taste-based elements. Well, what about proprioception, Dr. Krienko? After inception is completed, a Class A amnestic must be administered in order to prevent looping, autoactivation, and related phenomena. Okay, I've read enough of that one. I know there's more on the left-hand side, but I want to talk to my friends. I'm here. A temporary archive. What does that even mean? Leave it to me. Oh, good, an emergency. It's beyond my current level, but I'm going to do it anyway. You can count on me, boss. Okay. Consciousness intrusion operation record. Participants, director redacted. Operation executed on March 26, 2005, on that night. Consciousness intrusion action SCP-239-1. This report contains a large amount of content. Would you like to know more? Favorite storybook? Maternity registration form? How long is this going to be on the screen? Would I have had time to read it all if I had started right away? Did I lose already?
D6744, please provide your identification code according to the mission letter. 4 and 20 blackbirds.
Tell me, Doc, when was the last time this rag on my head was washed?
D6744, according to the 7th edition of the Security Regulation Amendment, you must first provide your identification code. Otherwise, you will be executed.
All right. 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. You're a real fan of these formalities. Everything's got to be right by the book with you. Oh, God!
Stormtrooper? Oh, no, just gas mask.
Mike Donald, consciousness intrusion expert, former leader of MTF UP2, codename Spider. Now, Level D personnel, number 6744.
Enough with these damn formalities. Just what the hell you want me to do?
D6744, do you know about the Witch Plan?
I've heard the name, that's all.
The plan is under the direct command of O5. Every last detail of the plan is protected by the strictest confidential terms.
So what?
D6744, what you're about to witness is top secret information of the Foundation.
The hell is going on?
A few hours ago, something went wrong with the Witch Plan experiment. The energy of the human anomaly, SCP-239, is out of control and has begun diffusing outward, disintegrating everything it touches.
You guys seriously never cease to amaze me.
SCP-239 is now a ticking time bomb. She could go off at any moment. D6744, I need you to enter the consciousness of SCP-239 to stop this bomb from exploding.
The neural key is fully charged and ready to enter the target consciousness space.
Begin the program.
Consciousness
What's
begins to
happening?
link. Start counting.
D6744.
5,
We don't
damn
have
it,
much
just
time
hold
left.
it.
3,
Fuck, wait!
2,
Wait,
and
wait!
size.
I believe SCP-239 was the girl in the blue dress we saw, walking at a very unusual angle. Camus Machugum. Mawam? Okay. This is a pretty interesting consciousness so far. Is this what your consciousness is like? It's not what my consciousness is like. I mean, the little girl humming part, that's pretty accurate.
D6744. Can you hear me?
Son of a bitch! Fuck you!
The situation is urgent. If you were still the way you used to be, you would have done the same.
If you were still the way you
hello
used to
there?
be.
Hey, wait!
D6744. What did you see?
A little girl, but she ran away when she saw me.
That little girl is SCP-239. What else have you discovered?
Sorry. I'm sorry. Help me.
The girl's consciousness is severely damaged. That probably explains her total loss of energy control.
Then how should we proceed?
Well, we should repair it. Duh.
I'll have to enter her preconscious. If there's a solution to this, it's gonna be in there.
Good. D6744. You really are the right person for this mission. D6744, I must remind you, SCP-239 is no ordinary girl. She is uniquely dangerous. Do not forget.
Yeah, I got it. I'm dangerous too, don't forget.
Why am I dangerous? Just because I can go into other people's consciousness? I don't actually seem to have much control over that, so... Doesn't really seem like a big deal.
Ladybug, 5 o'clock, summer, bird, movies.
It was a pretty wacky contraption he's got on, huh?
Turkey, eagle, 16, eternal blood, science, Zeus.
I like his speech.
Rainstorm, whisper, butterfly, garden, activate, wings, fan, passion, French, resin, roarer, red.
What am I doing here?
Green, touch, move,
Oh, I'm leaving? Why would I leave? I should be interacting with that guy. There we go.
Holy mother of...
Alright, so I guess I'm running now. Left? Why not? Now we're gonna follow the left wall. I believe he's getting closer. Hey, hey, hey! What? I was stuck. Yeah, all right, look, that's just rude. I mean, I spent all that time doing just that. Okay, so left wall following not good? Is that what I was supposed to learn from that? Why did I just stop so that he could hit me? Yeah, message received. Got any more useful hints? I feel like I'm supposed to be more upset by this, and I'm supposed to, like, I don't know. That time I didn't even make any choices. I just went through the only door that was available, and he was already there. Alright, going right didn't work out for me. Don't go straight. That seems like a good plan. Did you see that? Did you see that I just slowed down so that he could get me? Am I really just memorizing the route through this maze? Is that what we're doing? Because I'm not doing it. I'm not memorizing it. I mean, I guess I learned not to go right at the first turn. And I learned not to go through the door with the sparkles on it. Why? Why did you stop? Why did you stop? See, we don't go straight because there's sparkles. So we go right at this time. And then, what? I went straight last time, I guess. Left. Yep, that didn't work out. Shut up. Say something more useful or say nothing. And on top of having to memorize our way through the maze, it's like you just randomly stop so you can get bopped sometimes. Yeah, see? I didn't do anything. I just kept holding down the buttons. And then what? Alright, I went left last time, so... Great. Oh. Well, that ought to hold him. Well, this looks hissy again, doesn't it? Doesn't seem like it would be a good idea to go in there. But that's what I'm going to do, isn't it? Alright, in we go. Or not. Damn it. This room seems unnecessarily large, don't you think? Employee card. Good. Well, if I was an employee card, I would probably be mysteriously teleporting around in an area like this. Right? Is that an employee card? Do you think... Oh. Do you think it would be uncomfortable to have all of that stuff bipping around inside of you? What?
I'm Dr. Pierce. We are now conducting ability control test number 125 of SCP-239. Okay, let us begin. First, set voltage strength to 30 kilovolts. Power on. SCP-239. Move the target object to the designated location.
Ability control test number 125 has failed.
The voltage intensity must be insufficient. I'll need a new test site, along with new equipment that can handle a greater voltage load.
And then lines exploded from all of them. You know, I think Dr. Pierce was the sleep doctor in Superliminal. Isn't that interesting? And you know what else is interesting is that we're all out of time for episode 7, so come back and see me again in episode 8, and I will collect this sheet of paper that is not an employee card. And then I assume that we will go looking for the card in question. Talk to you soon.